Hello, everybody. Terrible news about Paul McCartney. Terrible news. Still, no, I'm April fooling you. But as a celebration of Paul McCartney's lyric book, we are gonna sing some Paul McCartney lyrics. Right. This song's called Mammunia. The rain comes falling from the sky to fill the stream that fills the sea. That don't rhyme. And that's where life began for you and me. Alright. So the next time you see rain, it ain't bad. Don't complain, it rains for you. The next time you see LA rain clouds. LA rain clouds. Don't complain, it rains for you and me. Nothing annoys me more than English people calling Los Angeles LA. I hate that. It's like English people calling America the States. Well, it's different in the States, you know, they use the dollar. Oh, yes, they do. And Mickey Mouse shook my hand, yeah. I hate people who go to Disney World and Disneyland, because that's all they think that's all that America is. And then some would argue, yeah, America is just Disneyland, but I don't know. There must be more to it than that. And a bunch of obsessed people. Just gotta get right out of here. All got comments here. Hello, I know. Well, I'm trying to shock. See how many? Oh, got 5 people watching. It's working. Hey, do you like this song? I'll invite anybody onto the show who wants to come onto the show. I'm not drinking today, by the way, so don't expect any outrage. Just a little, maybe, but not a lot. Because I am Soggy Noodle. One of Paul McCartney's greatest songs. He will be remembered for that. Anyway, no, the idea for it, because I forgot, it was actually April Fool's yesterday, but TJR put a stupid video up, and it was so unfunny. Oh yeah, no, I need him. He's my left-hand man. He's my first lieutenant. And you know what you call the first lieutenant, or the first lieutenant, we call it in the Royal Navy, because we don't say lieutenant, we say lieutenant. Some do call it lieutenant, and they get a slap round the head. No, this isn't America, you fucking idiot. It's lieutenant. All right. So the first lieutenant on board ship is called the Jimmy. The Jimmy. Remember that? I remember once we were doing something called replenishment at sea, where you have to go alongside a supply vessel and you throw over lines and you get lines coming back, and you have to go through this rigmarole. And anyway, we fucked it all up. It was bad. And the Jimmy threw his hat at me and it went over the side of the ship. And I just remember it was upside down. It was floating between two ships. It just went under the water. Anyway, hey, Sloop John B. Well, it's a nautical enough song, isn't it? Yeah. Beatle, what's that fucking, what's his name? Mason. These kids have got so many different names now. So I don't know if you're Beatlemania or Mania. Oh, fucking don't know. But look, come and ruin my show. Get on the show. Come on. No. Yeah. It's a broke up. Oh, but I forgot my video yesterday got blocked for copyright reasons again. I'm sick of it. Every time I play a little bit of music, somebody makes a fuss. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you who's made a fuss every time this happens, and then you'll know not to put their music up there. On this occasion, there was quite a few people was not going to allow me to put my music up, so fuck them. Threw away on my crib. Then he took and he ate up all of my corn. Let me go. Oh, well, because it's just me and you, Maxwell. I've got 100 songs about 100 songs. No, actually, it says 306 songs. So, if you want to make a lucky guess and say, play this, I might have it on my telephone. But you've got only 3 seconds before I pick another classic. Let me go home, calling all the heroes. I'm here. What do you want? I've got 3 cats on the bed at the moment, so it's all quite peaceful, believe it or not. We're all enjoying ourselves today. Yeah, and I'm drinking coffee and it's nice. No, I'm not. I'm drinking tea. What are you talking about? Da-da-da-da. There's only one man who would appreciate this song in the whole world, and that's Stephen Schnee. So, no, I haven't got that one, Maxwell, I'm afraid. I have got it on my cruiser blades, yes, I'm afraid. And I've also got Soggy Noodle. Well, I was going to download the what's it called, RAM archive, and then it said it's 1.5 gigabytes, and I thought, I'm fucked if I'm using my storage space, that amount of storage space on a fucking album like RAM. I'm sorry. The heroes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected any better than that, Maxwell. I mean, it's an annoying song. It's not an annoying song. It's an annoying name for a group. It bites, does it? Oh, I can't believe TJR is so unfunny when he's trying to be funny, isn't he? You know what he forgot is to put a tumbleweed effect at the end of his gag. Do you know what? He's one of the reasons I hate Disney. I mean, I've always hated Disney World, so actually, I'm just blaming TJR for the sake of it, and that's prejudice. So I'm sorry, TJR. I didn't mean that. Yes. Town boys. Whoa. And you haven't made many videos recently with Robert Kinsler. Was he just allowed out at the weekend or something? I've got another bad song here. Disney don't own the Brits as well now, do they? What else? What else would you call LA? You call it Los Angeles. I mean, if it's your town, call it LA. Whatever you want to call it. Call it Frisco if you want. That's outrageous, isn't it? Getting snobby with someone for calling a town Frisco. Who calls it Frisco nowadays? Oh, and I'll tell you something else. This is another scandal. That bloody Davis Winchester. He's got, oh, and he said, oh, and he said, oh, some of my best friends are black, And he said, "Ooh, that's such a cop out." He said, "That's the worst. That's the worst excuse." And no, I didn't say some of my best friends are black. I said my best friends are racists. Get it right. That's not a cop out, is it? That's being honest. I can't help it. There was a bloke, and he used to work down the newsagents, and he was up to all sorts. You know, I don't know what he was up to, but you know, he was pretty extreme. And my brother's so naive. He used to go down there. And I said, "Did you know that bloke down Burton's is he's a right white supremacist?" And he go, "Oh, yeah, he did say something about that." And I said, "Well, what did he say?" And he started saying all this, that, and the other. And I said, "And you didn't think this was?" I said, "You didn't get any warning bells going off or anything?" Well, I mean, that's my brother for you. You know what I mean? He just walks straight into trouble all the time. All the time. Every day. Well, we don't want this. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's a good song. I can't play the Eagles, by the way, so I'm not playing Desperado. Right, we're going to have a bit of Michael Jackson. I mean, this will get through copyright because they're desperate. The Jacksons are desperate at the moment to make a few bob. Richie Dolan, are you out there? Are you awake? You know what? And I'll tell you 9 people right now. I'll tell you. I've forgotten. I've forgotten. Anyway, if you've just tuned in, I'd just like to say Paul McCartney, to my knowledge, is alive and well. But how else could I get you people on the show? Anyway, everyone else does this kind of shit, so why can't I? Is there a law against it? I'll tell you what, I read the lyrics to Mamounia at the beginning of the show, and I'll tell you what, I don't think that song's going to make it into this lyrics book. I'd like to see if Andrew Dixon can guess every single tune and play every single tune. Roll a few dice and see if it comes up with Maybe I'm Amazed. And keep going until it does come up with Maybe I'm Amazed. What I might do is the World Cup of most useless Beatle children. Oh, well, do you know what? The amazing thing is, Maxwell. Well, no, I do, Maxwell. You know what I mean? Much as people might be horrified, but you know, I'm on another channel and I'm unclothed, you might say, and I'm not talking about Keith Chegwin's Naked TV. God rest his soul. You know, I don't get caught up in all this idolatry about stars like you lot, but you know, I was very upset when Cheggers died because it was like, hang on, don't go. Don't leave me, Keith Chegwin. And one day Peter Noon's going to go as well. Whew. I think Paul McCartney will make it to 100, I'm afraid to say, because he's just that sort of cheap bastard. You know. Maxwell, have you been watching Andrew Dixon's World Cups? I have to apologise. This is a bit of a, we call it the hair of the dog over in England. I drank 2 bottles of wine yesterday. I was getting all wound up. Do you know what I mean? I was getting all wound up. But and then I had a lovely curry at the end of the day, and then I fell asleep for hours, and then I woke up, and I've been out already today, so it's all been good. It's all good. I've got another 2 days off, and my beautiful wife is in the house with me in the house, so we're hanging out later on, you know, but we've got to eat separate meals because she's going through a Jewish holiday at the moment. Yeah, she's going for a Jewish holiday at the moment, so she's got to eat special food. You know, I mean, while I've got a choice, I will use my choice. Thank you. See, classic. Step 1. Let's turn it. I don't think this will be heavy on the copyright, do you? 2 and 3. Step 1. Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Step 2. Step 3. You kiss and hold it tightly. Oh, which edition? What you mean, the Pob edition or the? What do I think of the royal family? Oh, they're a bunch of nutters. I'm actually a Republican, Maxwell. I am. I you know, but I think whilst the Queen's alive, you know, leave the royal family alone because she does a good job. But you know, the rest of them, they're a bunch of idiots. And you know, I don't want ethnic people deciding the future of the royal family, but I think the British people should be allowed to decide whether we want to give them any money or not, and whether they should be allowed to live in those big houses. Personally, I'd lock them all up in Sandringham, the whole fucking lot of them, and then see if they behave themselves. If they don't behave themselves, chop their heads off. Sorry, is that high treason? Sorry, Majesty. Seems like heaven to be. What? Steps 1, 2, and 3. What? Classic. Now I can't put Fleetwood Mac on either, but maybe we can have Supertramp. We can maybe have Supertramp. Oh, John Heaton, if you're watching from the Volga River, the mighty Volga, I think John Heaton's in the music business. You know why I think that? Because his workplace paid for Yoko Ono and him to have lunch. Now, my boss wouldn't pay for that, and I wouldn't want him to, and I wouldn't want to have lunch with her. In fact, if Yoko Ono wanted to have lunch with me, she'd have to pay me a lot of money. You see, John Heaton, me and you, we've got some stuff in common. I think Supertramp is great. Well, up to a certain point, anyway. Even though John Heaton, you do associate with lunatics. I mean, your buddy is up there, and he's bigging up Press to Play. He's bigging up Give My Regards to Broad Street today, saying it's a brilliant film. The man's insane. The man's insane. I said you could have hooked up with me. I know I speak funny, but I've got something to say, even if I'm working class. Yeah, I am working class. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking not faking it. Look, mm. Out of this world. Mm. John Heaton legends, yeah. But you see, now if I was involved with that conversation between him and that the other day, I could have added something to it, a bit of sense. In fact, I'm sure they was both drunk. Honestly, when you think about Andrew Dixon, right, and all the effort he puts into his videos, right, and then you think of John Heaton and how slapdash he is, and Andrew Dixon saying that he idolised John Heaton, idolised him. Oh no! Anyway, we're going to find out if Supertramp are going to get me blocked again. Oh, get used to it though. But the funny thing is, my wife, she's banned from Facebook every month. Every month she has to go through this. She's got 2 accounts, but she's always getting blocked. Do, 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 do. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Yeah, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. All right, because we're all talking about Kenny Loggins. Now, Maxwell, did you see it the other day? It was so funny. Talk more talk, right? And they was talking about Ringo's EP, and Kit O'Toole, she was like vicious, really vicious about it, and the other two weren't backwards in coming forwards about not liking all the records and everything. And Kenny Loggins, and he went and threw it to them and called them a bunch of idiots. Well, not in those precise words, but he was saying his tone deaf son would pick up a pin drop in Mongolia and he would be able to identify if Ringo's using a fake voice, which he is, and it don't need to be fucking Mr. Sonar here to hear that. You know what I mean? Just put fucking album on, you can hear him going wow, 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 wow. So, it's rubbish. What they should have done though is just said, look, Kenny Loggins, I know you think this is Band on the Run all over again, but this is a pile of shit. It is a waste, and I've said this before, it's a waste of plastic, it's a waste of everybody's time and effort. And it's unhealthy for, like I said before, this sort of thing's unhealthy for the planet because it's making people like vinyl nerds who like Paul McCartney march down to the shops to go and get a bloody copy of this. Yeah, you know what? Well, I don't think I'm at liberty to say anything, Maxwell Edison. I mean, that's her bag. It's her bag. I don't really want to interfere because sometimes she does sail a bit close to the wind. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Whoa. Do-do-do-do-do. Get Michael's. Yeah. Sorry about this. I might not be drinking tonight, but I'm smoking. Or when I've got cramp in my hand, I keep getting cramp at the moment because I'm not doing a lot at the moment. All this week, if I don't sort of get about, then I just sort of cease. I sort of I get all crampy, You know when your foot, when you bend your foot, and your foot gets stuck in a position. That's me. Oh, I fucking hate it. I have trouble with my feet. Actually, they're very cold. Very cold. Right, we're going a little bit of Del Shannon, of course, because I said, I've made Del Shannon a promise. You know why he killed himself? Because he was expecting a Christmas card from this woman, and she didn't send it, and he blew his head off. Tragic end. Tragic end. But he's up there with the greatest band. I fucking hate this. When I'm on Facebook and you get all this. Who would you pick for the greatest band of all time? And they've got a bunch of dead people. Always got Freddie Mercury, John Lennon up there. And nobody thinks about it. They just pick, the Beatles and all this shit. You'll be pleased to know I'm not using that frigging microphone today. You know what? It would be really good if they made songs like this these days, wouldn't it? You cannot get fucked off with it. Well, my all-time favourite is Del Shannon. Who's that there? Oh, it's Chris Wright. Yeah, he is. Oh no, they want to get me on that show. I'll tell him what. I'll give him what for. I've said that before. I will not have people talking such nonsense. Well, listen, I'm sorry I'm not talking too much, but I've got a bit of headache, So enjoying my wine yesterday. It was nice. First bottle went down well, but the second bottle just went. I don't think it touched the sides. Yes, the long-tailed winter bird sounds wonderful. I've probably heard it, but it's probably gone in this ear and out the other because it's so shit. Actually, if it was really shit, I'd remember it. But it's just pointless, meaningless, like the Gontropo album. There's no need for it. Like Ringo's new Zoom In, Zoom Out. What's that about? It's that's a bit 70s, isn't it? Sort of, camera lenses and things, zoom in, zoom out. It's very 60s even in a way. It's supposed to represent technology of this. Why don't he just call his new EP USB memory stick? Oh no, we've already had that memory stick almost full. Yeah. Oh, I've got an announcement to make. If Paul McCartney, you're out there, you've just tuned in and said, hang on, I'm not dead. You can't prove it was you because it says McCartney. It might mean Dave McCartney. Dave McCartney works down Unigate. Unigate is like Dairy Queen, I suppose. Yeah. He did 2 years in Malaya, and also his wife ran off with a dustman. And what else happened to him? Oh yeah, we had Bobby Charlton there. You know, the old brush across Bobby Charlton there. Yes, terrible time. Ash. Mm. What did he listen? I mean, I can't watch all this bullshit all the time. You know, I just sometimes have it on in the background. It's the only way I can cope with it. But did he say anything about horses? Yeah, I mean, there's some sort of weird shit going on. It's like Hammer House of Horrors, isn't it? It's like, you know, Mr. Mayo and Andrew Dixon have now been given this microchip in their head, and they're being controlled by Sean and Yoko. Oh no. No, what we're gonna have some David Essex. David Essex, yes. Yeah. 9 people. 9 people! But I'm not obsessed with numbers. That's why Music Mam's not coming on my channel, because she's terrified of being seen with a racist. Do you know? I've got a silver lining. You know what? Ringo's in what is it? That'll Be the Day with David Essex. And now it's a perfectly good film, but Ringo's terrible acting ruins it as usual. Oh yeah, well sometimes I go on the dodgems. Wanker. Stupid cunts. Sorry ass fucking Fonzie lookalike. What's that ridiculous turning up at the Grammys? What a stupid old fucker. Eh? Eh? You wouldn't not get my mum, who's 81, dressing up as Joan Jett. No, she's 82 this year, actually. Yeah. Honestly, it's terrible. It's terrible. He looks stupid, and that is a wig. I'm sorry. You know, they have those mats. And one of the train drivers I used to know used to say he was straight, but he was as gay as fuck. Really was gay. He was always dancing like a puff at the nightclub, so I knew he was gay. I don't think his mum would have accepted it because he lived with his mum. So I'm thinking that his mum would kept saying to him stuff like, "Oh, I'll bet you bring some lovely girls in, and they're coming, and they all want to." And all he wanted to do was bring them round because women liked him, you know, because he was like a woman. So he was always with the chicks, but he weren't fucking any of the women. But he wasn't either being gay. So I'm sure he was being protecting himself against, you know, in case his mum found out. Oh, it'd be too much for her. Oh, she would never. Oh, she'd never live it down. But anyway, what's the point about this? But oh yeah, he was so fucking vain. He used to go down Brighton every 6 months and have this fucking mat put on his head and stapled onto his skull. And that's what Ringo's done. I mean, Christ, he's 81. Do you really think that's his real hair? Do you really think that's his real hair? Honestly, the bloke was going bald in 1961. Du, 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 du. Yes, it's a very quiet vibe today, isn't there? Very quiet. Here we are. So if Vinyl Rich is watching, we've got a bit of the Clash for you. Imagine John Heaton as a punk rocker, Sid Snot. You see, the thing is, punk was a working class movement, and that's why the music was so shit. I mean, working class kids can't do music really. You know, it's messy. It's messy, and don't think the Clash were working class because they weren't. They were posh boys, and that's what I really hate because I hate middle class people taking over working class phenomenons like punk rock. I mean, at least the Sex Pistols, even if they weren't playing the instruments, they were dirt poor people. It's not, yeah. Well, you see, Ringo looked a bit like that the other day, didn't he? He was that stupid. Oh, you know what? I could just sit here and like throw insults at him all day. I could. Oh God, you know, I wish I had somebody just to move my arm. Hello, David Jackson. Have you just joined us on Getting Mugged Up with you and Chris Wright? Because you've got like sort of names, you know, like names. Chris Wright, mind you, Chris Wright sounds sort of DJ-ish, doesn't it? This is Chris Wright, Radio Norfolk FM. Do 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 do. You know what? There's parts of Britain that are full of inbreds, and Norfolk is full of inbreds. Gosh, thank you very much, Drewski. Uh, I don't care who you are behind that disguise, my friend, because you're most welcome. Soggy noodle. Oh, Maxwell Edison. Oh, we had this yesterday. We're not having this. If I can move my arm, I'll be able to one, spark this up, and two, move the track. I'm sorry, you've got a cripple in your midst. All right, here we go. Listen, I'm gonna have a bit of. Now, listen. Um, I'm glad. I'll tell you what. I'm glad Preco Mick's not here today. He wore me out the other day. He did, honestly. Whew. No, he wasn't David Jackson. He was dirt poor. He was dirt poor. Do you like I ran so far away, DJ? You know, this is a world record. There's 12 people watching because you know why? Because they love a flock of seagulls. And they'd be right. They would be right. Oh, hello, MZ. Yes, I'm awake and I'm nursing the smallest hangover, but it's not too bad because I wasn't mixing my drinks because in this house over this last week, lager beer has been banned from my wife. However, she has given me over excessive supply of red wine, so I've been drinking it. But I'm sick of it now. I'm having an alcohol free day, and my head feels much better. And I've been out and had a walk, and it was raining, and just walking in the rain. Yeah. What time? Yeah, this is an annoying question, isn't it? What time is it in America? You missed. I was having a pop at my countryman saying that I hate it when they go to America and they start saying that things like LA, LA, or the States. I hate it when they call it the States. It's like they've been there for 1 week and they think they're like as American as apple pie, and they come back wearing baseball caps and dressed up like American footballers, and they start talking about American football and stuff. And if I see people in the pub like that, I shout them down. I shout them down. And in fact, I'm not the only one that shouts them down because we don't like Americanisms. We don't mind a little bit of it, but um, we were horrified once because we was in a shop and there was this English girl, and I think she'd just been started at Marks and Spencers, and went and get some trousers. And I was about 17 at the time. And this woman, she said, 8:07 a.m. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she said, she said, she said, have a nice day. And we was like looking at each other like, fuck off. Have a nice day. Do you realise how patronising that sounds in England? You don't get it. You don't get it. But it'd be nice sometimes because what I did like in America is they do say have a nice day, but it's like they sort of sound like they mean it. You know, it's like tips are, keep them going, and you get a better class of service in America for sure. And in but I will say that English service is better than French service. They're a bunch of fucking arrogant wankers. And you think we hate Americans, right? You want to meet the average Frenchman. Oh, they hate it. They don't want to say thanks for us liberating them in the war either. They do not want to talk about that. I wouldn't want to talk about it. A nation that let its country surrender after a week. You know what I mean? That's terrible. In fact, it's not terrible, it's embarrassing. And half the country collaborated with the Nazis. Yeah, did you know that? Yeah, they don't tell you about that very much. Bloody frogs. Yeah, this will get banned for hate speech now. You xenophobe. No, there's nothing wrong with that. We've always hated the French. I'll probably hate French Canadians even more because they're so boring. They are the most boring people I've ever met in my life, apart from South Africans. They are not any fun at all. They're no fun at all. Do, do, do. Mm-mm. Well, not really. No, 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 no. I wouldn't. You don't understand my experience. I'm a white Englishman. This is my truth. I'll tell you what though, my truth is when I used to go in, I had a bit of money in my pocket, I could afford a nice leather jacket, shit like that. So I get in like fancy ass store and they treat me like Pretty Woman, I tell you. Treat me like a piece of shit. do, 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 do. Well, that's very refreshing to hear on such a terrible time. Hear what you mean? The Jets, the Jets and the Sharks. I don't know which one I want to be because I think that film's a pile of shit. It's so naff as well, isn't it? It's supposed to be rock and rollers. Is there a band called the Jets? Because I've never heard of them. I told you I don't know nothing about music, but I've downloaded. You want to hear what I've just downloaded? You'll like this. Do, do. Oh, I got busted for Eye of the Tiger. I've got to get rid of this. Hang on. Get off Eye of the Tiger. Oh yes, a good one. I'm not in love. I could talk about how irritating Eric Stewart is for the next year, probably. Oh yeah, it is. Honestly, there is no excuse for a country to be that cowardly. Love. So don't forget it. It's just a silly face. But you know what? They always get away with it with America and stuff like that. Unlike we don't get away with nothing, right? But the French always do because they always say, "Oh, well, you better start giving us money, otherwise the communists might take over this country. You know, it could happen. It could happen." You know, they threaten America like that. They're bastards. And we paid our war debt off to you. We paid that right till 1997. Do you know how much the French give you? Fuck all. They stopped paying in 1946. They said we're skint. We can't pay. That was that. Didn't affect their rocket program though, did it? Fuss. Friend to us. France has rid itself of you. You will never see France again. Pah! Devil's Island. Oh, Molly's licking Penny's hers. Yes, she's such a kind cat. Da, da. Rocket to you. Oh, Rocket to you. I'll have to check it out. I may check it out. Then again, It's a Beautiful Life might have put up a new video. And, it'd be unmissable, wouldn't it? Be unmissable. So I've got a new colouring book. And I'm gonna draw John Lennon bright purple face, and then get my felt tip all over the edges. Yeah, it looks great. What I'd do if I was her, because it's easier this way. So if it's a Beautiful Life, if you're watching, you don't have to go through all that bullshit. Waste felt tips, pens, right? What you do is you get your colouring book, and then you scan each page, and then once it's all scanned, you open up the folder, and then you go on to Paint 3D, and then whatever colour you want John's face to be, and it could be flesh colour. Try it. You can actually put that colour in there, so it'll look really tidy. It'll look beautiful, and then you can show us all the finished results. I know it's totally cheating, but let's see a bit of art at the end of the day. It's a piece of crap. Because I'm thinking after you show us that book, what would I want that for if that picture's going to look so shit? A long time for me. Dude. So we've had a pop at John Heaton. We've had a pop at Talk More Talk, rightly so. We've had a pop at Paul McCartney, Andrew Dixon, TJR, of course, Robert Kinsler. Not Richie Dolan yet, I don't think. But he's in my good books at the moment for the Red Rose Speedway. So. He's sort of having a quiet day. I'm going to spark this up. Stop fighting, ladies, please. Stop fighting. It always ends up like this. Penny gets overexcited, starts biting, and getting all nasty and clawy. Well, it'll be nice if we could phone up DLT, legendary 70s and 80s DJ Dave Lee Travis, who is pervert. He's been touching the ladies, but it'd be nice to get a coup, a phone call with him. Get his side of the story. I've heard his side of the story before. He will not even. He's actually gone to prison, but it got a suspended sentence, and then he was outside the court saying he was innocent. I thought, hang on a minute, yeah, he was innocent of one charge, but then you went to prison for another charge. Why aren't you acknowledging the fact that you're actually officially in prison at the moment? I didn't think that was permissible. Next, it'd be abolishing habeas corpus. Yes, this is the law, DLT style. Pew, pew. I have the rights to squeeze ladies' tits whenever I feel like it. No, DLT, you cannot do that sort of thing. And we don't like that sort of thing, because what about if you had a daughter, which you haven't got, but I know Ed Stewart has got a daughter called Francesca. Now, I have got a daughter, and she's sexy blonde, and I've also got two granddaughters, and they're lovely as well. And I don't want perverts giving them a squeeze. No, I'm a very conservative man about that kind of business. I'd get even more angry if it was ethnics touching her. Is that hate speech, or is it just an opinion? Oh, this is a good one, isn't it? Madonna, you know, when she was all like, she was made out of rubber once, and she used to go. Come on, you know what? Because she couldn't sing, they used to slow down and speed up her voice. If you listen carefully, you could hear when she's like been speeded up. I shall try and be quiet for a minute whilst I smoke this. Enjoy Madonna. Oh, she was as hairy as a gorilla, wasn't she? Oh dear, that's made me laugh. Well, I didn't see the whole thing. I got bored after he started taking the lyric sheet out. Oh, his mum took the lyric sheet out. I thought, fucking hell, no, enough of this. And then I thought, all he's going to say is how brilliant the whole album is. I ain't got time for that. I mean, if I want that, I could listen to Kenny Loggins insulting people and saying that it's the best album he's ever heard. Well, over the borderline. Oh, there's a bit of an echo on this. Must be one of those remixes where it's a compilation album, which is not in the MACCA collection. Oh, yeah, there we are. Look, we get information here off Glinda the Good Car Girl. Thank you very much. Do you know what? We try to make these shows educational and insulting. So the best thing is, yeah, 10cc. Oh, we missed that. We missed that. So I can't put that comment up. All right, Madonna, that's enough of you. When it goes into remix territory, I tend to lose interest. You know, I like short songs. You know, if the song's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I can die a happy man. You know, I always think Lion Eyes goes on a verse too long. I don't know if you agree with me, but, you know, it should be shut down a verse before it does shut down. Yeah, you not agree? I wanted to play some Crowded House, but they're very strict as well. Maybe it doesn't matter if this gets taken down, really, does it? Not really. Yeah, let's just put any old shit up, shall we? So This is all modern stuff this week, isn't it? 1979. I was there. 1979. Yeah, 1979. Yeah. I don't mind you coming here. You know what? In my neighbourhood, everyone was so poor. My mate, he didn't have a record player, so he liked the Paul King song "Love and Pride" that much that he bought it in 12-inch, and then he had the cheek to knock on my door, say, "Look, I've just bought this record. Can I listen to it round yours?" So I used to let him round about once a week for a month to listen to his fucking album. Well, it wasn't an album; it was a single. I grew to love the song, and then I grew to hate it. Oh, here he is. Here he is. I know in an ideal world, Chris, right, this would, normal rules would apply, but we don't. We live in a nutcase, basket head world. Yeah. Well, actually, oh, well, good morning. Good morning. And the thing is, McCartney's not dead, no. Not that McCartney, anyway. It was April Fool, but I'm a day late. But I was just copying TJI. He's done a really shit April Fool. It's so unfunny. In fact, he should be given a special award at the Vinyl Nerds for the unfunniest joke upload. I mean, it was just dreadful. Dreadful. Honestly. What childish cunt. It'd be nice if you could. Hello there, Brian. You lazy fucker. What? Oh, you just got up. Yeah. What I've got is this here. Because I'm suffering from a bit of a hangover, I can't have anybody too distressing on the show today. So, Van on Wheels, if you show up, I'm going to have to tell you bugger off in the nicest possible way, of course. What I needed. Now I'm just going to try and move because the trouble is there's 3 cats on the bed, so I'm in a very awkward position, so I can't come on camera at the moment. But what I will do is move my lame arm, and I'll try and get the blood circulating and get some music on. Because it's the least I can do for you. And we don't like... Oh, did anybody hear my top 10 Hall & Oates the other day? It was ever so good. I don't know if the video's been blocked, though, but yeah, you'll have to look for it because I can't remember. I'll lose track. Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Oh, right, I'm moving. Sorry about the noise. God, help me. Help. Oh, God. Well, I need a nice cup of tea. That's going to sort me right out. He said, I'm going to get busted for Hall & Oates as well, but I don't care because I love Hall & Oates. I asked Melinda if she liked Hall & Oates. I don't think she knew who they were. Of course she did. So, listen, that could be fake news. But I did say, I said one group to her and she didn't know, and I thought, well, that's weird. You should know these people. My list and resist. Oh no! Tell the world, Brian. That yeah, it's so shit. It is so shit. Honestly. I mean, he could have done something with Robert Kinsler, couldn't he? That would have been, at least that would have, added to the mayhem a little bit. Mayhem. MZ mayhem. What are you? Are you Melinda? Are you? Melinda in disguise, like who's that? No, that's not the story, is it? I reject Disney, Glinda. I reject Disney. I think Disney is going to be the worst thing. It's like the evil empire, isn't it? Is on my list. Oh. That's about as funny as TJR's video. Yeah, no, it isn't. I wouldn't have done it. It was just I saw TJR and I thought, oh, I know. If I say this, then it might get some people watching who shouldn't be watching. Oh no, not yet, Penny darling. No, you come over and see me in a minute. All right, I'm gonna do something in a minute. All right, got to get up and get some fizzy drinks. Listen, I don't want to sound like music, a boring redecoration talk, but we just got my wife's mother just bought a special present for Passover for the pair of us, and it is a lovely freezer, and it's got 6 drawers, and it's frost free. Wonderful, and it's in a metallic design. We had the choice, and we chose metallics put next to the cooker now. Penny, please, calm yourself. Really moody if she don't get her own way. Penny, I'm busy, please, give me a minute. Oh, my list. Now, and also I've got cramp, so you don't want to hurt your daddy when he's trying to move. All right. Now, listen, I'm always going to play this record because it's so good. This is true. Do you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that I'd be done for hate speech again, I could tell you what the latest in the UK is. You probably know, but listen, I want to talk about this stuff, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to. I said yesterday, but they've taken the video down for copyright this time, and what I want to do is get another email address and another YouTube account so I can keep being one step ahead. And what I'll do at the last minute, I'll put a link in and say, get down to this address, double quick. Yeah, that'd be good. Be brilliant. And then I can speak my freedoms. It's very important to me. It's very important to me. Street. You know what the trouble is? You're hanging around with a party animal, and I was hanging around with a party animal when he was Jezard. And you think, well, he looked like Andrew Ridgeley in 1982, and he looked exactly the same as the cover of Fantastic by Wham, and all the girls were going crazy for him at that time. And then he started doing a bit of bodybuilding as well, and he looked great, honestly. And honestly, we couldn't go out without 3 or 4 girls being around him. Now, I was thinking this is a good thing because being with, but you know, even the girls that I was supposedly dating wanted to be with him. So it was a total failure. So you know, he was, and he caused so much trouble. You know what I mean? When the drink and the drugs got to him, he did all kinds of stupid things. Once he did the IRA hoax phone call to the police, and this is how his mind works, right? He gets drunk in the pub, and he's drunk after the first pint. He's pissed, right? He's and abusive. He always gets a good slap at the end of the day. But he's made out of rubber, he sort of bounces, one of those people. And he loves annoying big blokes. You get those big rugby blokes, and he goes up to them sometimes and he shouts in their ear. And they sort of look at him as if to say, "Are you fucking having a laugh?" And they look at him and then, they will give him a slap or pull his ear or something, but they won't give him a good belt because they'd probably kill him. He's always getting punched down the stairs. And once there was this, he goes up this bloke, he looked like he come from Kosovo, and he had this stupid moustache because they think women find that attractive, having a Burt Reynolds moustache. So anyway, he's standing there all proud, like, all the girls love me, all the white girls love me. And he goes up to him and he goes, "Oi!" in his ear. And that was funny. And I'm sitting at the bar thinking, I'm just going to watch him get punched in the gob in a minute. And then next thing, this black geezer comes in with a sexy blonde. And then he starts shouting out, "Oh, oh, 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 ah, 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 ah." And then this black geezer was all cocky a minute before got really embarrassed. And he's standing at the bar. And if a black man could go red, he was bright red, I'm telling you. And next thing, he goes up the stairs to the toilet. Toilet's up 3 flights of stairs on a spiral staircase. Next thing, I hear all this bang crash, and he's falling down the stairs. And he's twisting around the corner, and I thought he'd come to a halt. And then the weight of him sort of went to another step, and then he started rolling again. It was very messy, but it was hilariously bad. And then next thing, there's these 2 girls, and I was at the bar, and I was just talking to him because I had enough of him. And I said, "Listen, I said, I'll buy you a drink. It's just I'm here with him and he's paying. He's been a right arsehole." Next thing, he appeared out of nowhere and grabbed one of the girls round the arse, and she slapped him round the face. And then the bouncers were on him, threw him out. And he goes, and his dad, his father-in-law, run the club. And they said, "Well, you'll beat." I said, "What are you kicking me out for? My father-in-law runs this place." And they said, "Because you've been groping the women." And he got all like terrified. He says, "Oh, I didn't grope any women." His father-in-law was a right prick as well. He was like, one of those arsehole businessmen, and he looked like Weekend at Bernie's. And he was about as alive as Weekend at Bernie's. He used to stand at the bar, like, sort of eyeballing the ladies, but not moving much and looking ridiculous. And I thought, yeah, I know you've got a wig on, and it's one of those expensive wigs, but you still look pathetic. And where's Jonathan Silverman, like, dragging you along, and Andrew McCarthy? That's funny, that film, innit? I love that. Yeah, you like that film, yeah. And look, we've run out of music. Let me get some more music. I'm just gonna have one more, and then I'm gonna go. All right, but that could be a good half hour. What we got here? Go on, we'll put on Little Red Rooster again. Woo! There's no reason why we shouldn't be playing shit music as well. No, he cannot. He cannot. I am the Little Red Rooster. I am the Little Red Rooster.
Too late to throw away. Keep everything in the formula. Upset in every way. The dogs begin to bark. Hounds begin to howl.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll do one of them World Cups. Have you got any ideas what World Cups I should do? I could do the World Cup of biggest lesbian vinyl nerds. How about that?
Watch out, stranger. Little red roosters. If you see my little red rooster.
Yeah, where's my little red rooster?
Please drive him home.
Oh, I've just about had enough of this bloody record, I can tell you.
If you see my little red rooster.
Yeah, I'm going to be like Nero today.
Please drive him home.
Here we go, here we go. Do, 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 do. Oh, well, see you later, young man.
A boy born in hot damn Mississippi.
This is, it's quite well behaved today, wasn't he? Makes change.
His parents give him love and affection to keep him moving in the right
living
direction.
just enough for you. Do, do, do.
His father works some days, but
I'll try my best, MZ Mayhem.
he barely makes $1. His mother goes scrub the floors for me, and you best believe she'll hardly.
Yeah, and listen, Brian, I've had enough of talking about the Rolling Stones and Mick Jagger, so they can all sod off. Oh, here, well, he's back, look. Got to have the last word, haven't you, Mike? Got to have the last word. We'll let him. Oh, do you know what? I wish I had like this sort of, you know, hand which wasn't, you know, like stiff. Just enough. For the city.
Her brother smart. He's got more sense than many. His face long.
Oh no! Are you losing connectivity? This is a bad sign. Hey, woo, woo. Shall we get some Robert Palmer on? I like a bit of that. My kind of guy, Robert Palmer. Why look for the music when the music can look for you? I didn't think that one out very well, did I? I'm going to have every kind of bit because I'm going to tell you people in America, you should know, there's one of our greatest comedians has had the sword of Damocles hanging over his head for the last 20 odd years after a gay party went badly wrong when this puffer ended up dead by the swimming pool or in the swimming pool. Now, it's nothing to do with Barrymore, but his whole career's been ruined, and he used to do this show called My Kind of Music, right? And it was brilliant. And I was planning to go on the show with this girl, and we was practicing for ages, like, you know, and she was rubbish. So there's a bit where you have to swap places and you have to sing a song. They put, say, Belinda Carlisle up, and you have to think of a song of hers and quickly sing it, and then the other person guesses, and then you run to the other side, and you make quite a lot of money that way. So anyway, we were all planning to go on that. It was her fucking idea. Oh, and I think there was also an opportunity to win a holiday to Egypt. And she always wanted to go to Egypt. So anyway, it never happened. Never happened because they took the show off the air. Tragic. Tragic. One of the first victims of the PC culture. Man hasn't been accused of anything. He's not guilty of anything. And yet his career has been shut down for 20 years. Every kind of people. But yeah, Michael Barrymore. What? All right. And we're gonna say we're with you, Michael Barrymore. You'll be back. One day you'll be back. You're the funniest man in the whole fucking world. They will never shut you down. Ever. Ever. What? What? Yeah, and yeah, that's funny you should say that, Brian Borrow. Why did Schofield get off when he's been grooming a 13-year-old? Yeah, and then they had to they had to pay this fucker off with ITV money and move him to loose women before getting rid of him completely and threatening him with silence because Schofield's been living a fake that, and Joan Collins has said we all knew Schofield was queer. And they had to quickly take that off the air. And you see, the problem is with Schofield. Schofield is supposed to represent kind of like a family man. And I don't even believe he's father to his own kids because I can't imagine him doing it with a woman, to be honest with you. And more shame on his stupid wife for allowing this lie. And I know Ant and Dec are doing the same thing. They're both queer and they're probably having a relationship with each other. And their marriage, they're both married, and it's a farce, total farce. I mean, their wedding day pictures, they weren't even looking at the wife. And you do on your wedding day, you do tend to look at your wife because she's looking hot. Well, I don't know. They keep showing these wedding photos these days, don't they? These wedding shows. So my wife, she's always watching them. They're rubbish, absolute fucking rubbish. And they've always got a bride, and she's about 50 stone. And then you got a dress on. I thought she still looks like a piece of shit, you know. I mean, it don't matter. You can put a white dress on, but you can still look like the fucking marquee that James Bond lands in. Oh no, it's not James Bond. It's Jaws on Moonraker, isn't it? At the beginning when he misses the parachute and yeah. Well, anyway, we don't want this song on. Oh, we're having this one. You like this one? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Benny Hill was one of the first to get shut down, wasn't he? It was one of Britain's best-selling exports, and this is typical British. This is. Let's cut our own hand off here. Let's get rid of this show. It's making a lot of money. I mean, the rest of the world likes a little bit of misogynist behaviour. It's obvious. Yeah, and that's who Ringo looked like, that bloke who gets the slapped head, doesn't he? You remember when he was dressed up as Danny on Grease when they did the Grease piss tape, and he's going on his head. That's what Ringo looked like. Oh, don't talk about it. Do you remember that bitch from The Office? You know, they apologised to her and she said, no, go fuck yourselves. You know, that's horrible, isn't it? That's a woman, you know, abusing her power. She's only there because she's got big tits anyway. She's thick as shit. Yeah. I think it should be legal. Actually, it's probably kept me closed down, but horsewhipping of certain individuals should be allowed by the private citizen, as long as the private citizen has got a license for horsewhipping, and I'd like a license for horsewhipping. Thank you very much. Which means also, if I'm doing the horsewhipping, no one horsewhips me. How about that? That's good. It's May. Should Andrew Dixon be horsewhipped? Oh, don't! You're really upsetting me now. And now it's all coming back to me as I lie here thinking. First of all, it's Barrymore that's upset me. Now you're talking Ron Atkinson, and now Frank Boff's dead. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Addicted to love. Well, face it, you're addicted to love. God, I'll tell you what, this song just gets better every time you hear it, doesn't it? To love. And I'll tell you something else. Contrary to what you might think, the girls love this song. They do. Even though the women in the video are total tools, aren't they? Making out there playing those musical instruments. It's like watching the monkeys. Oh, I'm not allowed to say monkeys, am I? Shit, I forgot. It's one of those trigger words. Well, if you've got any more information to fuck me off, Brian, just let me know, won't you? Yeah, but, and, even worse, though, I think, though, it wouldn't be right for Robert Palmer to be alive these days. You know, I think he was up to his hotel room, you know, probably with 2 or 3 girls, you know, for an afternoon of fun and games, but probably watching more than doing, you know. And I expect he had rather a lot of cocaine, and one thing leads to another, you know, when you're in your 40s or 50s, wherever he died. But I think he died at the right time, yeah. So we've got this body of work which you cannot touch. Oh, by the way, and anyway, I know some stuff about Robert Palmer. He was racist. He was living in the Bahamas, and for those of you who don't know, whilst the film Help was filmed in the Bahamas, the um, the island nation was called the Bahama Islands then, not the Bahamas, and it was under British rule for another 10 years or so. In fact, the Queen is still the Queen of the Bahamas now, so it's independent, but it's associated with Britain, you know, through currency and bullshit. Defence as well, most probably, yeah, I think it is defence as well. And anyway, he's living there when Island Records got based there as well. And once it become independent place. Now, the trouble is, I'll let you know, right? When these Caribbean islands become independent, first of all, they get a big windfall check from the old colonial master, and then they take over the infrastructure of the island, and then things just start crumbling, money goes into pockets. I'm afraid it's happened in every single one of these places, and the Bahamas is no different. And Robert Palmer says he's had enough of the place. Rising crime. I think even Island Records have left the Bahamas now. I think they've gone to British colony called the Turk and Caicos Island. Sounds like one of them places where John Heaton would go. So things that go. Not for him. 3 days in Lanzarote. No. Ooh. Big tainted love. Anyway, I've decided John Heaton's done the right thing. He's living in Hungary, right? And Hungary's got terrible record for certain things, which I can't say here. However, these terrible things do appeal to my lifestyle choices, you might say. So I'm thinking I might just go and live out there. So, John Heaton, if you've got any advice, and my wife, she's got Romanian roots, so that's kind of next door, isn't it? So maybe we can sort of get in on a pass. Maybe if you just let me know, tell me. Yeah. Classic. Well, there we are. We're just talking about John Heaton, and we got some Fleetwood Mac. What I should be doing is putting on more John Heaton. John Heaton. Today I've complained about you, but now I'm going to pay tribute to you with your posh voice and your posh friends. And John Heaton, will you do a World Cup knockout, please? Yeah, these are videos I would like to see, and I don't mean TJR's shitty April Fool's joke. In fact, I haven't said anything in the comments, but I will be on the comments afterwards to tell him what a pile of shit this upload is, to take it down if he's got any idea at all about reality, which is bad enough that the bloke lives in California, because as we all know, every nutcase in the world comes from California. Isn't that right, Brian? Exactly. Yes, Brian Borrow. Yeah. Well, anyway, we can't put these sort of things up here. However, John Heaton's not stupid. I reckon he's out there because he's sick of it as well. Stop thinking about tomorrow. And I'm really sorry about what's gonna. I can't go into that, but I'm just going to say that I'm sorry that Ireland it's been like America with independence. It's been right uptight about it, and yet now you're going to become European, and it's horrible. And you're gonna get swamped because they want to put this problem to the edge of Europe as far west as they can, away from them. So I'm really sorry that that's going to be what's happening to Ireland. My God. Respectable. Or maybe I'm just looking at the world through shit-coloured specs. I don't know. I mean, you're always on a bit of a downer after you've drunk 2 bottles of wine anyway. Respectable. Right, that song's annoying me so much that we found a bit more Robert Palmer, which this is Robert Palmer. And just in case you didn't know, this is called. Oh no, I've got to put on looking for clues. You know what? You know what's missing here, though. I'm a bit pissed off about it. It is not got. And I said, girl, didn't mean to turn you on. Mm, mm. You see, this is the wonderful thing about Robert Palmer is that he will always be golden forever. You know, there's no chance of him doing a remake album 30 years later and sounding like a bag of shit. There's no chance of him doing a shitty tribute album of old rock and roll songs. No, he's gone. He cannot do anything else. And thank you very much, Robert Palmer, for what you've done for us. God bless you. God bless you. And it's a shame you never got a chance to move to Hungary. But we're all going to end up there one day. In fact, what I might do is make myself refugee status and just turn up at John Eaton's doorstep and come live with him, whether he likes it or not. I'll say to him, yes, exactly, Brian, no to a 80-year-old Robert Palmer. We're lucky. We're lucky. And, you know, I mean, the thing is, what we eat, you know, they said Paul McCartney was taking Viagra. And he must have felt so embarrassed when she said that. That's the funniest thing. And that's one of the reasons they put that $1 million gagging order on her, because she was going to say about Paul McCartney's bendy willy. Now, I don't think he could have survived that, because he's an egomaniac. And he's a very vain man as well. In fact, he's so vain you can only take a photograph of him from 50 foot away now. Usually about this time in the stream, we've got Captain Spaulding turns up and then disappears again. I bet Captain Spaulding's got some Robert Palmer albums. Don't know why, but Captain Spaulding just don't look to me like he's yeah, it does. You know, I forgot what I was going to say. You know why? Because I probably want a cup of coffee, so I'm not going to be here for much longer. But what I will say to anybody out there that's watching, Paul McCartney is still alive. I'm sorry about that. All right. And we're just talking about, if you just joined the show, we're talking about my cramp. We're also talking about Paul McCartney's Viagra, Paul McCartney's Bendy Willie, and Heaven Mills gagging order. And thank God Robert Palmer's dead, and God bless you, Robert Palmer. Right, let's get some more Robert Palmer on before we, you know, one more. After 5 minutes, I'm going to have a coffee. Don't get much better than that, does it? Don't get much better. I think Robert Palmer has probably spent the last 10 years of his life being a non-sexually active person, but more of a voyeur, you know, the sort of bloke who likes watching women do striptease, a bit like American Psycho, you know, when he's got them girls around there and they're all taking cocaine, and he's talking about Whitney Houston, and they start laughing. So he gets the chainsaw out. I'm sure there's photos of him in jeans and t-shirt, but he always looks so smart in that double-breasted blazer and suit, didn't he? A real smart-looking bloke. Nice hair. Looks a bit monkeyish, you know, if you've got to be critical about a man's face. Not my cup of tea, really. I probably would have found him a very shallow person, you know, because he was very vain, I think, very vain bloke. We're talking about Robert Palmer here, paying tribute to the great Robert Palmer. Do 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 do. Yeah, and I bet he likes the blonde to dress up in red, and the brunette to dress up in black. You know, but he'd probably like one of them being Chinesey, you know, Oriental. You know, he'd probably like that. And a blonde, definitely. And a bit, I reckon there'd be, you know, red high heels too. That right. That right. Well, we're about to run out of Robert Palmer's music, so I'm just going to go on to one more legendary group, and then we're going to have to finish because I am spitting feathers, which means I'm thirsty. Do 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 do. The Beatles never did anything as good as this, did they? Da, 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 da. Oh, now I've decided, because we was just talking about wonderful Robert Palmer, and this has got nothing to do with Robert Palmer. This is the wonderful Tears for Fears. I know there are a couple of rich kids, but you know they never tried to pretend to be anything other than rich kids. So I'll give them a free pass on that. Plus, they could write and play music, so that makes a difference. Even though they had faces for radio, because you know they were not the best looking. Well, actually, the lead singer was the old Roland. Looked like a codfish. Woo! And I would just like to say that I've rediscovered the wonderful The Hurting album by Tears for Fears. Yes, indeed. One of the best. One of the best albums of the 80s. And if you're out there, Stevenson, you can turn up because Pre-Code Mike's gone to do missionary work, so he'll be gone for a couple of hours. So we've all decided we're all going to get in a rowboat and we're going to go over to Hungary and demand status as white people. They couldn't refuse me. As long as they all learn how to speak English, everybody'd be happy. I bet John Eaton speaks Bulgarian. I bet he's up La Lusa Magnuta Makusha Manutu. Knock knocks. Give me your knock knocks, Sabrina. I bet his wife's half his age. I bet she's only about like 27. You dirty old man. Mind you, my mate's gone and got himself a Thai bride, hasn't he? Oh, God. She honestly looks like a fucking little girl. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything so ridiculous looking in my life. And he was totally opposed to women, so God knows what she's done to him. He met her in Dubai. Oh, man. And it turns out she's already had an English husband and she's got a kid who she doesn't look after. I mean, it doesn't bode well for the marriage. And you know, the bloke's from, he's rich. His mum lives in a castle, for fuck's sake. And his dad just sold his house in London, which has been in the family since 1829. And they've built a whole street on that. And he got millions for it. Fucking millions. And his dad's one of these daft old cunts. They like steam trains. That's where I met him. I met him on the railway, and his dream. But he was one of the Hilton management team. So we used to go down the Hilton and stay there because he had this sort of lifetime ticket sort of thing. But he'd give all that up, bossing people around in a hotel for fucking trying to get a job as a train driver. Ridiculous. So that's the upper classes for you. They're dumb, totally dumb. All the doors are open for them and they want to do something really banal. Well, yeah, he was. Oh, I met a few of them on the fucking train. It was always some sweaty bloke and he spotted you. Oh, it was worse because I was at the Gay Pride. Well, I wasn't at the Gay Pride, but I had to do the shuttle going from Ashford International to Brighton. And I had all these bloody puffs on a train. And I had to take them all back as well. And there was blooming annoying train spotter puffs. And I got 3 or 4 of them was coming up to me, like one at a time. And I thought, fuck off. And I was going to go and hide in the back cab. Classic, right? And then, what did they do? Oh, no. He said, oh, you work on the train. What do you need to do? I said, well, I don't know, fucking just wait for it to be advertised. Oh, go fuck off and die, horrible person. Sweaty fucker. There's nothing worse than a bloke with BO. Some groups, they don't wash, and this is one of the reasons I got done for hate speech the other day by saying which nations smell the worst. Well, look, without mentioning any names, I mean, if you was in the room with a man who stunk like a lump of shit after you've had a curry, well, you would be a little bit disgusted, wouldn't you? Especially if you're trying to eat or drink or, you know, even just trying to talk to someone. The stench of, you know, my puppy anus does not make for friendship, lasting friendship. Oh, blimey. Blimey. And now, this song is making me all sleepy and I know I need a cup of tea. So, after this song, I am going to finish the show because all good things must finish. We must continue to enjoy the day. And I might have a pizza. How about that? I might have pizza. And what I'm going to do is put some pastrami, and I might put some barbecue sauce and a little bit of chicken breast and some sweet corn maybe. How about that? What about an onion? An onion would be nice. Yeah, caramelized red onion. Yeah. And I shall eat the whole pizza to myself. How about that? That's greedy. Oh, and you know what? I've got some of that coleslaw. You know the um the purple colour coleslaw, not the white colour coleslaw. I like the purple one. Yeah, Amish. No, such a nice song. I feel so mellow and floaty and yeah. I wish I could say that, you know. No, I don't know. Still crazy. Yeah, crazy. After all these years, have you seen that video of Art Garfunkel and his tone deaf son on the stage? It's awful. It is so awful. Do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing that there's, you know, what they're doing. Because I would have gone to see Art Garfunkel, and then they said, like, as a warning underneath, he can't hit high notes anymore, so he can't sing. He cannot sing Bridge Over River Kwai anymore. So. So what's the point in going to fucking see him? So I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to go and see him then. But then it turns out, special guest star, oh, is it going to be Paul Simon? No, it's his son, Roger Garfunkel, the worst singer in the whole fucking world. Bridge. And they're trying to be Simon and Garfunkel, right? They're trying to be like Simon and Garfunkel, and it's falling flat on its face. It is awful. It's awful. But on the Richter scale of awful, and this is California. This is California, right? This measures a 9.0. The 9.0 level critical. Yeah. This is worse. This is worse than 1906. Right, and it's TJR's shitty April Fool's joke. And if you all agree with me, say yeah. And I think I'll finish this stream right here and now. Alright, goodbye.